My name's Shawn Russell. I drive a 2003 Wolfsburg Edition Mark IV Jetta. I bought the car in November of 2018 off of my friend Bob. At first I was like almost hesitant when I bought it because I just kind of bought it on a whim, you know, and I've always heard horrible things about just Euro cars, like the maintenance, the cost, and everything. Like after having it, it was like I've never had any issues. I bought the car with, there's no lights on it still to this day somehow. No check engine light, which is pretty rare in these cars. Every Mark IV you see has a check engine light. It's really fun. Besides the clutch, I no lift shifted it from first to second, and it never went back in first after that. Like, I don't know if I bent the shift fork or whatever. So I hunted down a trans, and with these cars, with this specific model, usually any Mark IV you can swap an O2J into. And since this is a Wolfsburg, the shift linkage is different. So I had to find that exact model. And I searched for about a month, found one in Columbus. And at the time I was like, I want to make, my clutch was already slipping. So I was like, I might as well upgrade the clutch, and I bought a stage 3 Kevlar carbon disc from Clutch Masters, and it's really, really heavy. So I had the car for about a week, and I immediately ordered an exhaust for it. And I was like, I'm going catless, ordered just an eBay downpipe. It was a full exhaust, and it had a huge muffler on it, and I was like, didn't really like the tone of it, and I had an old Apexi N1 exhaust laying around, which was off a 2nd gen Eclipse. So we fad that up from the mid pipe back, and which now it's replaced with some blast pipes. The car now it's tuned by Malone on 22 pounds. The 2-step's the best thing ever. There's a kid who followed me on Instagram, and he liked one of my pictures one day, and I wasn't following him back. And he works here now, his name's Chandler. And I just commented on his picture, like, man, I really want a carbon hood. And he's like, make me an offer on it. And I made him an offer. He's like, yeah, and he came with 2 other people, Alex, which works here, and Bryce, who is here, he's starting on like next week or so. And they're like 3 of my best friends now, just from buying the hood off of them. This one likes to stick. There we are. The valve cover was red, and it was really annoying me because it looked like 6ix9ine's haircut in my engine bay. So I had to go ahead and I painted that, and I painted our hold downs purple to match it as well, because I thought that would be kind of weird with them red as well. I have a Forge diverter valve, which is really nice. I had their splitter valve on my car, and it just made my turbo compressor surge all the time. Super bummed on that. I have our ECS turbo inlet pipe, and it was a Neuspeed short ram intake, but I didn't like the filter. It was like kind of a weird shape. So I got a Piper Cross one from here, and I painted the Neuspeed heat shield as well. Intercoolers, it's a Garrett core with ATP intakes. It's 22 wide, 9 tall, and 3-inch core. When I bought the car off of Bob, he had coilovers laying around the shop and threw them in, and I have no clue what they are. I know they're not Racelands because they're not the color of Racelands. They could very well be ECS coils. They have the red adjusters on them, and I know ours are red. And surprisingly, for like how much I've lowered it, it doesn't ride too terrible. It's you know, it's a little stiff sometimes, but it rides pretty good. It's not bouncy or anything. The wheels, they're the Alzor 020s from here. They're 18x9 with a 215 40R Federal SS595 tire on it. It was actually the first Superfly last year. We were sitting in line, and some kid goes into my window. He's like, hey, your wheels look like shit. So that was like one of my first like bringing it to a car show. I was like, oh, okay, but I just kind of brushed it off. I was like, I don't know why you're so mad you have to say that to me, like lean in my window and say that. I want to say it was March. I was getting out of the car with my girlfriend, and I grabbed both the drinks from the console, and I live on a hill. didn't pull the e-brake, didn't put the car in gear. And like an hour later, my sister's boyfriend comes in the room. He's like, somebody stole your car. It's in the neighbor's driveway. And I run out of the house like in shorts, boxers, like what's going on, like freaking out, you know? And my car had rolled down the hill, and luckily my wheel was turned a little bit so it didn't go straight down. And there was a dividing wall about, I don't know, this tall. And it hit that and it rolled up on it like sideways. It destroyed my rear wheel. I mean, it still had air and stuff in it, but it bent the crap out of it, tore the tire, and it bent my control arm as well. Oh, I got these here too. They're the Zeiss LED blinkers, which are really, really nice, and the front ones as well. The carbon mirror caps, they fit really nice, which I'm really happy about. Oh yeah, Instagram is @Shruss_. If you want to follow me and see two-step videos, I post them every now and then. Try not to beat on the car too much. After the Apexi exhaust, I decided to just go with some blast pipes. So I ordered a Megan Racing blast pipes. I don't know how long they are. I think they're like 24 inches or something, which they're not completely straight right now, which I did it in a rush naturally. That's how I do things. I'm impatient. And I kind of want to straighten it out, but I kind of like the angle of it a little bit. So I'm unsure yet. So the spoiler, one of our engineers, Derek, I was kind of in cahoots with him. Like I scoured the internet everywhere and I could not find a duckbill anywhere for these cars. They were like an inch tall. And I was like, well, I'm not wasting my money on that. And we were kind of talking. He's like, yeah, we can scan your trunk and you know, we can see what I can do. And he whipped it up in like 3 or 4 days and sent it. And I was like, okay, let's do this. And we 3D printed it here in house. And with a little bit of body work, a little bit of Bondo, we got her on there. I love it. And I get a lot of like people asking me, like some Mark IV kids, like, where'd you get that spoiler at? I'm like, oh, we made it in-house, but unfortunately I don't think they can go to production because there's 3 different style trunks for the Mark IV. The Wolfsburg, it came with a little dinky spoiler on it, already from the factory. And then I bought my trunk from Pull Apart. And it comes off and has a little tiny hump, and then it comes back down in. And then there's just like this straight 90-degree Mark IV trunk as well. Okay, so Yorkies that comes back to the DSM thing. My good friend Mirjan, he has one of, I believe, 3 or 4 7-second Evos in the world. And he, when I got my car, we were talking, he's like, hey, I'm gonna send you a sticker. And it's, I mean, pretty big, and there's not, I guess, there's a few cars with them on there, but to my knowledge, I'm the only German vehicle with one. All the other ones would be Evos. Yeah, so the shift boot and the door cards are ostrich, actually. I had my friend's dad, he's an upholsterer, and I was over there and we were just gonna do black suede on the doors. He's like, let's do something cool with this, just leave it to me overnight. And he's just told me, he's like, what color do you want? I was like, I don't know, I really like teal. I come back the next day and he's like, yeah, here's some ostrich. And the shift knob itself, DSM Evo legend himself, David Busher made that for me. After he retired, he got really into woodworking and we were talking back and forth. I was like, hey, it'd be cool if you made a shift knob for my Jetta. He's like, all right. He did like, in David fashion, I'm at the shootout and he just pulls it out of his pocket. He's like, here you go. So he hand whittled it. It kind of looks like a doorknob a little bit. I was kind of concerned at first because it was so long. And I was like, is it gonna make shifting, you know, feel weird? But it's really nice, so it doesn't take much. And I have the stock, it's not a short throw shifter at all.
Do you have any words for someone who wants to get into cars and isn't? Any words of encouragement or what to look for or anything like that? Yeah, for sure. Just don't be scared to ask questions. I know it's intimidating, but I was even scared at first to like ask questions, but 90% of the time people are gonna be willing to help you. They don't want you to feel like an idiot. So just do ask questions, whatever the car you're looking at, you know, get on forums, see if the car's worth getting, you know, make sure it's not a rust bucket, or if you want to restore it, that's on you as well. My biggest thing is just ask questions and don't be scared to ask questions. Most people that I've met in the car community have been like really, really, really friendly to me and willing to help as well, which is awesome.